Ciao everybody, welcome back to the channel, welcome back, and in today's video we'll be talking about Verona 1, Juventus 1. It's your match reaction, and we're going to get into it, of course, talking about all the details about the game in terms of how Juventus did, right? The overall performances, as I am not happy as a Juventus fan perspective. I am not happy about my club's performance and overall team performance as well. Not good enough. But before we get into it, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and let's get into it, man. Let's start off with Di Gregorio. Let's start off with the goalkeeper, right? Di Gregorio, not good enough. Not good enough in terms of the saves, in terms of the performances as of late, the last 3 games, letting in a lot of goals. And, letting Verona, have their, time, right? Have their possession as well, right? With the whole team. It's just not good enough, man. Di Gregorio needs to be benched, in my opinion. He really does. He could have saved that penalty. He really could have saved that penalty. As well as the other goals from the Dortmund, also from the Inter, right? It's just, for me, not good enough, and I think he needs to, really rethink on what he's been doing on the bench, because at the moment, I'm not really happy with Di Gregorio's performances. So, yeah, that's, of course, my thoughts about Di Gregorio, right? About what he needs to do, right? I think he really needs to really clear his head on a lot of things that has happened, right? And he needs to make a total reset. And I think Pera needs some minutes. So definitely Tudor needs to make that change for sure, because we're letting in way too many goals. And of course, not everything is going to be his fault, but there's a lot of goals that, have come from on his fault. So on his watch. So yeah, no, of course, let's move into the defensive phase, right? The defensive line that we have. Again, Bremer, a lot of rotation in this game, in this build-up, right? So we're going to be talking about 3 men, Kalulu, Gatti, and Lloyd Kelly. Our back line worries me without Bremer. It really worries me. As a Juventus fan, it worries me, because it's like, what happens if Bremer is not going to be available for a long time? It really will hurt the team, because our back line was just disorganized. It was really disorganized. We were lucky that we tied this game. We should have lost this game. We were very, very lucky that we actually tied this game. Very lucky. Their overall team performance was shameful. I expected Juventus to get the 3 points. Our backline is going to be a big problem this season. A lot of people are saying Scudetto this, Scudetto that, right? Listen, Scudetto is a dream. Scudetto is a dream. It's not a reality right now. Top 4 is the main concern at the moment. Because without Bremer, the general in the back line, we're not going anywhere near a challenger for the Scudetto. No way. Not without a proper back line, because defense wins you championships. It does. It showed in the past. It's shown also when we were winning as well. It showed that those are the most important elements, is the defensive back line. And at the moment, Bremer's the only one worthy in that back line. He's the only one that's worthy. Oh, but people are going to say Lloyd Kelly this, Lloyd Kelly that, right? He scored 2 goals, right? Yes, but look at his overall performance. Letting in a lot of goals. The penalty against Dortmund, right? Not good enough for me. So we go into Gatti. Gatti, clumsy. Kalulu, for me, not good enough. But the defense is a big problem. And I expect Juventus to make signings in the winter to really strengthen our back line, because without it, it's not going to look good for Juve. Now, Joao Mario, right, didn't look good at all in this game. As a starter, he didn't look good at all. Causing that penalty, right? Even though it was a questionable penalty, by the way, very questionable. Because if we look closely, his eyes were closed. The arm was also right by his side as well. It wasn't extended. So for me, the referee, again, which we'll talk about later in this video, And I have a lot of things I need to discuss about this whole referee thing, because he made a lot of bad calls, and they should have been calls in Juventus's favor, right? And of course, we're going to talk about that. But before we do that, I want to move on to the midfield, right? The midfield section with Coop Miners. Oh my goodness, what a disaster this guy has been having, man. A disaster. Where is the Coop Miners of old? Where is the Coop Miners of Atalanta? Where is that Coop Miners? We haven't seen that Coop Miners yet at Juventus. It's like if the guy is just running with a chicken, like a chicken without a head. Literally, guys. That's what Coop Miners is. You could tell me this in the comments about, oh, Coop Miners is more of a defensive, he's doing very good defensively, which that may be true, but that's not his position. We need him to provide, to create goals for this team, to score. He's just not doing good at all. He doesn't fit Juventus. I don't know what it is. If it's a mentality problem, if the guy's confidence, right, which is a big thing, right? I have no clue why Coop Miners is not doing well. It's just not good. It's not Juventus caliber. This is not a Juventus caliber player, and there's a lot of question marks around Coop Miners' future. Because Tudor says one thing, right, that Coop Miners is doing very well, but then it shows on the field that he's useless on the pitch. Very invisible, and there's a lot of things that we need to work on. He needs to work on as well, and including Tudor as well, because he started him. So, of course, he started him because of rotation, but still. I think Locatelli didn't have a bad game at all, so can't bother him with that. What can we do? What really can Juventus do in this situation, man? I mean, it's just not good enough. The midfield, not good enough for me, especially with Coop Miners' performances, right? It's just not good. But, of course, I want to move on, right? Let's move on to the attacking phase. I think that's our only strength, has been the attack for the past couple games. I mean, we've been scoring a lot of goals, right? Chico Conceição coming back from injury, scoring as well, a nice goal. And, these are the types of players that we need to change a game. Now, obviously, Yildiz, all these players up front, they have a lot of individual qualities. Yildiz, again, right? Player that's going to always try to give his 100%, always try to give his 110%. But, yeah, for me, it's just a lot of individual talent on this team. There's a lot of individual talent on this team, and Juventus needs to work more as a team. The chemistry is way off, from the defensive phase to the midfield, also from the midfield to the attacking phase. There's a lot of things that we need to do in terms of growing, and it's with connecting the defensive phase to the offensive phase, and that's a big issue that we have. I don't really see any give and goes really that much to really create those golden opportunities, and our players up front, they need to finish those chances. Vlahovic, a guy that was very going on form, right, was very important for those points against Dortmund and against Inter as well. For me, not good at all as a starting. For me, he's an impact sub, and we should keep him as an impact sub, because in the back of my mind, I was like, when he started, I'm like, he's not going to have a great game at all. And it turned out I was right. So, for me, impact sub, Vlahovic can do his magic up front, right? Scoring in those decisive moments that we need him to score. But he's just not good as a starter. He's not good as a starter, guys. And, it's just not good enough for me. Obviously, we look at the bench with David as well. Not looking good either, right? Openda, new to the team. They need to really adapt, right? A lot of these new players need to adapt to the team. But, the only thing about the creative part, right, is Yildiz. Yildiz from the attack is the only creative spark that we have in the team in general. With the midfield, we don't have a creative type of midfielder, so then we could have some chances that we could create from there. It's just nothing really. But yeah, no, there's a lot of things that Juventus needs to work on, right? Tudor substitutions. I liked how Adzic came in. Adzic has been, I think, a really good, solid, you know, sub. I would say coming off the bench from Tudor's selection. So definitely props to Tudor for that. But overall, I just think that Tudor really got this game wrong. In terms of also tactically. Tactically, I think Tudor needs to do a tremendous work because it's just not working at all. I think Juventus should do a formation change. Maybe trying a 4-3-3. Maybe Tudor needs to really adapt to the team, And at the moment, it's not looking good. Not looking good. Because we really should have gotten the 3 points against Verona. There's no excuses. We should have got the 3 points. We needed the 3 points today. And it's just not good enough. Not good enough, in my opinion. But yeah, let's talk about this referee. The referee, I heard, has been already sent down to Serie B after the performance that he had, right? About the showing that he had against Verona Juventus. Because there's a lot of bad calls that he made, right? We could talk about the Joao Mario one, right? About the penalty call that, in my opinion, shouldn't have been given. Then the second one. Now, I went back, of course, and I saw the other incidents that the same thing happened, right? And it was actually against Juventus. So, it was when the Verona player, he did a nice elbow to Gatti in the face. And he intentionally did that. He didn't go for the ball. He intentionally went to Gatti and gave him a nice elbow. And there's a lot of pictures of it. And he was only awarded a yellow card. Now, the problem and issue I have here is because Cambiaso basically did a similar situation and he got a red card for it. Right? So this is where I'm saying, where was the referee in this situation? Where was VAR to overlook this whole thing? Because this is what changes games, right? And the fact that the referee didn't even consider going to look at the monitor, and the VAR just like, I don't know what they're doing. Like, are they not like seeing? Or like, what are we doing here? Not good enough from the Serie official. And look, this is again sketchy things against Juventus in terms of this that decide games. Yes, Juventus still, the overall team performance wouldn't have done well even if Verona had a man down. We probably would have still tied the game or maybe lost. I have no clue. But you see, those are the moments where things can change. Those decisions that the referee makes, that changes the whole dynamic of a game. So, obviously, I'm not happy from that point of view from the referee. Not good at all. I feel like it was a disgrace for that. But yeah, of course, those are my thoughts of the game, my thoughts of the referee. If you like this video, make sure to, of course, like and subscribe. You already know. Comment on what you think and what you thought, that you agree with me, or if you disagree, let me know in the comments, guys, about my little rant and, of course, my little match reaction and match review of the game. So make sure to do that. And we'll be definitely posting more. I'm definitely going to be doing that. I'm on the grind now. So make sure to do that. I'm back as well. So make sure, of course, to follow, keep notified as well for live streams and, of course, watch-alongs and, of course, videos that they're going to be also about Juventus, but also about other teams that I'm going to be doing about documentaries, stuff like that. So definitely keep in tune, and I'll see you guys soon. Ciao, everybody.